Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are good. And in last lecture, we have done uh, essay, my country essay. We have done chapter 1 of English literature. And today we are going to start new chapter of English literature, the Turkish Cap. See in the starting, can you identify these games? This is everyone is playing nowadays Ludo. This is Gilli Danda, Kabaddi, Kho. So everyone knows these games. But in this chapter, we are going to discuss about a game known as Gilli Danda. So Gilli Danda is played with two wooden sticks, a small one about 3 inches long called the gilli and a longer one called the danda, around 2 feet long. The gilli is tapered at the ends to get a good grip. The game is played between two teams with one team on a strike while the other fields, like cricket match. It can also be played by individual players. A small circle is drawn and the striker stands inside the circle and gilli is placed across a small hole that is dug on the ground. The fielders take various positions to catch the gilli. The striker hits the gilli with the danda, tossing it in the air and then striking it as hard as he can. If a fielder catches it before it touches the ground, the striker is out, as we are playing cricket also. Otherwise, the game continues with the fielder tossing it back to the striker. This is all about Gilli Danda, a game which we are going to study in this lesson also. So, we will start. The school bell rang. We rushed out of the classroom. I took the gilli out of my bag and Kunal took the danda. We reached the ground outside our school compound where we usually played. So, Paresh drew a big circle. Kunal entered the circle, placed the gilli in the center and took the danda to strike it. The others took their positions around the circle. Kunal struck the gilli hard. It flew out of the circle and went quite far. None of us could catch it. So in this, as the bell rang, what we were doing when you were going to school, as the bell rang, you rushed out of the classroom. Like that, these students also, they rushed out of the classroom and they take out gilli and danda from their bags. As they reach the ground outside of their school compound where they were usually playing every day after school. So Paresh is a boy. He drew a big circle. In the starting of the chapter, I told you about how to play gilli danda. So a boy named Paresh, he drew a big circle in which Kunal was standing. Kunal is the striker. He was striking the gilli. Okay, so when he strike the gilli, it flew quite far. So no one could catch it. So Nilesh was the first to reach the gilli. He picked it up and he threw it back to the Kunal with all his strength. Kunal struck hard again and the gilli went flying in another direction. So Kunal was a good striker. He was again struck it hard again. So it flew in another direction. Kunal was proving to be a good player. The gilly had flown over to Pramod now. Now Pramod, on Pramod. Pramod flung the gilly back at Kunal. So students, what is the meaning of flung? Flung means throw. Pramod threw the gilly back at Kunal again, and again Kunal hit it. This time towards the Brijesh. This time gilly flew to near towards the Brijesh. It should have been an easy catch. But what happened? Brijesh just missed it. Disappointed with himself, because after missing the catch, Brijesh was very disappointed with himself because that catch was very simple and easy, but he missed it. So again Brijesh tossed the gilly back at Kunal with all his power. Kunal didn't miss this time. Again he hit hard, and again gilly was flying towards where gilly was flying. I was ready to catch it again, but it never came. What happened then if it never came? All of a sudden there was a lot of noise. A man in a kurta, see, a man in a kurta and dhoti was standing in the middle of the playground. His Turkish cap, see this type of cap, this is a Turkish cap. He was wearing Turkish cap. And what happened when gilly came? Where it was? The gilly on his Turkish cap, and cap was lying on the ground upside down. The gilly seemed to hit the cap, but what happened? The cap was landed down, and as well as gilly also landed inside the cap. The man was furious. Furious means angry. The man is looking angry, right? You naughty boys, see what you have done. He shouted. He shouted with anger because he was wearing a Turkish cap. And when the boys hit the gilly, because of the gilly, his cap fell down, and inside the cap, gilly also. See what you have done, he shouted. Then Kunal said, I am sorry, sir, because Kunal was striking. Promptly, I did not do it on purpose. Promptly means without any delay. I did not do it on purpose means intentionally he had not done. It was a mistake, but I am very sorry. Kunal was saying he was very sorry. By mistake it happened. Why don't you play in your school compound? Because they were playing outside the school compound. So that's why man was shouting with anger, and he was saying, why don't you play in your school compound? The man shouted. Brijesh said, sir, we are sorry. Our school compound is very small. But that doesn't mean that you should play here, does it? The man asked. I'll go to your principal immediately. So he was very angry. Boys said, sir, we are sorry because by mistake it happened. But the man was saying, why you were not playing in your school compound? So what boys said? They were saying that our school compound is very small. So the man again said, but it doesn't mean that you should play here. Now the man was going to their principal. Now let's see what happened when the man, turning around, he started walking towards the school. I quickly stole a glance at my friends. We were all scared. Scared means frightened because the man was going to their principal for doing complaint because the boys were playing outside the school compound and they threw the gilly on him. That's why the man were straight to the principal's office. Now they were scaring more. All of us crept into the courtyard and outside the principal's room we tried to guess the conversation they were having and the punishment we should be given. Soon the peon came and called us one by one. We entered the principal room. Now what happened? The man went straight to the principal room and the boys were standing outside the principal's room in the courtyard. Courtyard is a small open area, open space. It may be in the middle or back of the building. So they were standing there and they were trying to listen the conversation between the man and the principal, but they were not able to listen. Soon what happened? The peon of the school came and called them. One by one they entered the principal room. Now see what happened. Then the Mr. Ahmed asked, who is Mr. Ahmed? Mr. Ahmed was the principal of the boys of that school. Who is responsible for all this? Mr. Ahmed asked in thundering voice. Thundering voice means with anger. We looked at one another because they were all playing in that playground, and so when principal asked, so they were looking each other. Why don't any of you speak up? Because they were all quiet. They were very scared and they were looking each other. So I replied, sir, we are sorry. We shall be careful in future. Ahmed said, apologize to this gentleman, all of you. So principal said to say sorry, apologize to the man. So we chorused, we are sorry sir. All the boys say together. Chorused means saying together, spoke together. So we said, sorry sir, we will not do this in future again. We shall be careful in future. So the man said, okay boys. He looked happy and moved towards the door. Okay, after going outside when the men went outside, after that Mr. Ahmed, principal, asked them, whose stroke was it? Whose stroke was it? Then I looked towards the Kunal. He was looking at me. My heart was beating faster and faster. But how could I blame my friend? With a sinking feeling, Kunal is stroke na. So that's why he was very scared. But still he don't want to blame his friends also. So with a sinking feeling means he was inside he was feeling that something bad going to be happen. Means after speaking, maybe principal give me punishment. So that's what he was thinking. I decided I would take the blame. I opened my mouth to reply, but Kunal was quicker. But Kunal, because Kunal is strike it, so he said, sir, it was my stroke. I am very sorry. What a stroke! Mr. Ahmed exclaimed. You strike the gilly, hit a man's cap, and the cap falls, and then the gilly lands inside it. A master player, no doubt. So the principal was very happy when Kunal said it was my stroke. He said, what a stroke! Because Kunal was very scared. But when principal said, "What a stroke! How you played! You played very well." So I could not control my laughter. But I did not want to laugh inside the principal's office. So, with great effort, I managed a wide smile. Okay, means he controlled his smile, means he controlled his laugh. Because he did not want to laugh inside the principal's office. See, so he gave only a smile. And after that, what happened? Because principal was not very angry. Principal was saying, Mr. Ahmed was saying, what a stroke. So after that, they all want to come out of the office and have a hearty laugh. So after that, they all came out. The man with Turkish cap also turned around at the door. He too looked amused and is still smiling. Amused means entertained. Still smiling, he went away, because earlier the man was shouting with anger. After that, when he talked to principal and the boy said sorry, boys apologized. So after that, the man with Turkish cap, he was also smiling and he went away. We trooped out of the room. Trooped out means moved out in a group. All the boys came out of the office, and what they did? They burst out laughing, because inside the principal room they were all quiet. They don't want to laugh inside the office, so they all give a smile, and when they came outside they start laughing. So this is all about the lesson Turkish cap. Read the chapter, all of you, and after that write down all the difficult words and word meanings into your copy.